Wake up feeling blessed up, on that dresser. Ain't afraid to show it, I'll expose it if I dress up. I'm getting right, smoking dirty Sprite. I'm going wild for the night, being polite. I'm going.
Been a while out for the weekend. Me, myself, and I, my 3 friends. Pillar broke it and leafed in. ASAP finna sneak in. Finger to the critics. Me and my drill it. You know we finna kill it. ASAP. We the trillers.
Hold up, what's my name?
More money, more cash, more money, more cash, more money, more cash, more.
What is good, y'all? NBA Live 18, man, episode 2. If you guys want to see this more consistently, you know what you gotta do. Smash that like button. As you guys see, man, looking over my name, I try to find my last name in the commentary names, but they don't have it yet. You know what I'm saying? It's not there yet. Not, at least not in NBA Live 18. But I did notice, though, my boy Anto did end up getting his last name in there. I never seen it in a video game before, so this is pretty cool to see his name in the game, his last name. That is dope. That's definitely something to work for. As you guys see, I did do my face scan. You guys can go ahead and check out that video. After this video, the link will be at the very end. Now you're looking over, you know, basically my customization, you know, my beard. I don't have much of a beard, but at least what I think I got. And of course my hairstyles there. You guys can pause that and check out all the hairstyles that NBA Live 18 has. Now, as far as my archetype, I thought this year, you know, I'm gonna go with a wing player. I usually go with a point guard, but I like going with a wing player, a wing scorer at that. Somebody who's gonna put the ball in the basket. And that's exactly what I did. And I wanted to make my guy around 6'5", man. I noticed that, you know, your height does depend on your speed and vertical and things like that. So I made him 6'5". I'm pretty skinny, so I made him 185, and that means he's gonna have a lot of speed. So my player is all done. You guys are seeing who he is, what he gonna do, and I'm very excited, man. I think this is gonna be a very, very fun series and a very fun year for NBA Live. So you guys already know, man, it is time to get this started.
Like millions of other kids, you dreamed of one day being in the NBA. You wanted to be a star, and someday to rise above and become the greatest to ever play. You dreamed of being the one. But the road to stardom is never easy. There are obstacles, injuries, and disappointments. Adversity is universal. It can happen to anyone at any time. And one day, it happened to you. You went from being a guaranteed lottery pick to a kid who may never even play college ball again.
Now, look, it's always bad to hear about injuries, especially to college kids, of course.
Yeah.
But Stephen A. Smith, this one is particularly disheartening because we are 2 weeks into the season and one of the top NBA prospects in the country goes down potentially with a season-ending injury, a knee injury. That's a killer.
I couldn't agree more. When I heard he was carried off the floor today, all you can do is find yourself hoping that he'll make it back. That's the bottom line. But my heart goes out to him because I didn't expect this. This is a devastating injury. It's never good to have something like this happen to you.
The team doctor broke the news. Torn ACL, sprained MCL, and a torn meniscus. Surgery was scheduled, but your game will likely never be the same. At the 2016 NBA Draft, your name is still mentioned. Not as a prospect, but as a cautionary tale.
Now, there's another huge story in this year's draft. A record number of underclassmen, 30 of them, undrafted. And I hope, anyway, that this is a lesson, this serves as an example to college players. I'm not talking about the ones who are genuinely one and dones, the guys you know are going to be lottery picks. I mean the rest of them. They're not sure shots. You're not sure they're going to be lottery picks. Don't just use the college system for a year thinking you're going to bounce. It doesn't work like that. If you don't have the talent, it doesn't work. You got to be cultivated in the system.
Please. There you go again with your blanket generalizations. You know how you are, oh, Max. The woe is me. Oh, my Lord. I can't take it. I just can't take it. It's a case-by-case basis. You can't just blanketly decide this should not be one and dones or this should be one and dones. You got to go on a case-by-case basis. Some dudes deserve to be one and dones. Some people don't. It's on a case-by-case basis.
And that is my point. Thank you for making it for me. Every kid thinks they're the exception to the rule. And members of the media like, Stephen A. Smith are encouraging these kids to come out early.
Look, Max. Bottom line is this. You got to take this into consideration. You had two dudes. They were called the Height brothers. Now, you had Nick Howard. This kid had a lot of promise. What does he do? He goes to college. Very uneventful first year, no doubt. The second year, he was pretty good. Here's the problem. The NBA, it's not about pretty good. You need to be great on the collegiate level, on the prep level, in summer leagues and what have you, in order for you to get the stature that you deserve. That's the bottom line. Pretty good ain't good enough to be that stud NBA.
That's exactly my point.
Let me finish. There's another example. I did say the Hype brothers. I wasn't talking about one individual. I was talking about two. What happens? One and done in a different way. 1 year, one ACL injury later, and look where he's at now. His future is clearly uncertain. So you got to take advantage of that opportunity because you never know when an injury is going to cost you everything.
Stephen A., listen to yourself. Let's listen to yourself for a second. You give one argument for why a kid should come out early, a one-and-done situation. I can give you 30 arguments this morning alone why they should stay in school. And now you have to wonder what a kid like Nick Howard, who has given up his college eligibility, does next. What does he do next?
First of all, don't sweat the technique. The argument, or one argument, as long as it's strong enough, that's all that matters. That's number one. Number two, the Hype brothers was something special. What they really need to do. I'm going to tell you what they need to do, Max. They need to get back to playing together. My sources are telling me the ACL injury has been completely healed. So go on a pro-am circuit. Go in summer leagues. Do what you got to do to get back on the court together to remind everybody of what you once were. Because once you pull that off, the sky's the limit. That's what they need to do. Get back to playing ball together, because when people see what you can do as one, the other arguments don't really matter. Like I said, don't sweat the technique.
So right now you're looking at pretty much my overall skill set and how it's going to be working as far as increasing your attributes this year and as far as getting new items, clothing and things like that. Now I got a phone call from my boy Nick Howard, and I guess he just wanted to, ask me, how I feel about Stephen A. talking about me on First Take. And let's be real, if Stephen A. and Max Kellerman started talking about you on First Take, of course your phone will be blowing up. And that's exactly what happened. So, of course, he invited me out to New York City to hoop at Rucker Park. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing, man. We're going to have Joakim Noah on our team. We're going to be playing against Lance Stevenson and some of his boys. So it's going to be a very interesting matchup.
This is New York City, the mecca of basketball. The original Rucker League began here in 1947. 9 years later, the tournament found a permanent home uptown at PS 156 Playground. Those early Rucker days showcased talents like Lou Alcindor, Wilt the Stilt, and Earl the Pearl. It's also where Julius Erving became the Doctor. In 1974, the park was respectfully renamed Holcomb Rucker Park in honor of the tournament founder. Now, many have influenced the growth of the Rucker since, but none more heavily than the late, great Greg Marius, founder of the EBC. Many would argue that the Ruck is the birthplace of true street ball and the crossover dribble. Considering New York City's penchant for flashy guard play, there are few who can challenge that. After the legendary exploits of Rucker alumni like Rod Strickland, Rafer Alston, and Kyrie Irving, it goes without saying that getting crossed up or banged on can happen to anybody at any given moment here. It's no wonder that this unassuming uptown playground has become the most widely recognized street ball court in the world. Rucker Park, Harlem.
Game 1 at the Rucker. I'm pretty sure this is Rucker Park. This is definitely Rucker Park. And you guys just seen D'Angelo Russell hit a game winner recently. And I'm pretty sure if that's not Rucker Park, it's a park in Brooklyn. Or if it's not a park in Brooklyn, it's a park in the NYC. And that's where we're playing at today, man. So we definitely want to come out here, show the people what they've been missing out on. You know, obviously I had a knee injury. I've been out for a long time. And I'm trying to come back and showcase that, you know, you could really come back from injuries even better. And it's actually kind of funny because in real life, I have a knee injury. And I'm going to be out for a little while. So that is something that's going to be pretty cool. Just like, it's kind of like being part of the story. But as you guys see, man, early in this game, I tried to let my teammates do their thing. They wasn't really rocking. So I had to make sure, you know, it's time to take over the rock. First bucket of the game. Right now, man, I like the real atmosphere. It's a real nice feel to it. The crowd is everywhere. There's people standing, people sitting, people dressed in different outfits. I really like the delivery of this game and how they're really showing the street style, the street feel in Rucker Park. And as you guys see there, a three-pointer. Now, I'm not a three-point shooter, but if I am open, I can get that shot done. And right there, Lance Stevenson, tough take to the basket, but that got blocked. So we got to fast forward this whole possession till I get the rock back. Right there, a little crisscross between the legs. And then a pull-up. Oh, that's off. Joakim Noah gets it back. Shoots it to the big man. He throws it down. That's a nice dunk right there. Got two solid big men that I'm playing with, so that's a relief, especially being a guard, a scoring guard. That means I can chuck up, shoot whatever shots I want to get because I know my big man gonna get the rebound. Now, as far as my guard teammates, those guys have not been doing anything. They cannot take care of the ball, so this kind of caused me to be a little bit of a ball hog, but this is street ball, you know what I'm saying? It's all about showing out. It's all about showing the crowd what you can do right there with the contact. And that should be an and one, but you know, they don't call no fouls in the street. So it's 10-9. We are down by one, but Joakim Noah right there with the shot, and that is good. I get the assist as well. Now, I'm not known as a playmaker, but when I need to, I can definitely make plays. And one thing I do really enjoy about this NBA Live is the pick and roll game. They really had the pick and roll game down as far as how the big man plays off of it, how fast he rolls down to the basket. I like that a lot, and it's really interesting to see, you know, when the full game comes out, how that's going to play in effect when you're playing against league guys. Now it's 17-14. Okay, right down the lane, and that is another throwdown. I've been scoring. I got 13 points in the game right now, and it's 19-14. Uh-oh. Can I get this two to win the game? The shot's up, and the shot is good. That is game 21-14. We get a much needed well, my first win in a long time. I've been out for, you know, because of a knee injury. But I'm happy we get that dub right there. This should, you know, start a little bit of buzz with as far as my popularity and as far as getting back into basketball and being a league player. So we're gonna wrap up this first episode. Now, if you guys want to see episode 2 later today or as soon as tomorrow, hit that thumbs up button. And in our next episode, we're gonna be adding our upgrades and adding new skills as well. So stay tuned. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button so I get that episode to y'all as soon as I can. And I am signing out.
Look, I got $1 million schemes and $1 billion flows, $1 million schemes and $1 billion. I got $1 million schemes and $1 billion flows. I put my heart in this work, cause that's just all that I know. Look.